If you have a story, you're probably not the only person with that story, whatever it is.
The game of life is incredibly challenging and incredibly hard, and it's going to push you through times where you feel completely defeated. You feel like you are rock bottom. And once you hit that point, you will then discover who you truly are. You will discover what you will do to get out of that. How you will decide to rise up from the occasion if you decide to do that. Or are you just going to stay down and wallow in your own self-pity and be upset with yourself for not succeeding and cry about it and just sit there? Or are you going to find a way to build yourself back up, be determined, never give up? There's a fine line between failing and giving up. You can fail time and time again, but that one time you give up, everything and all that hard work you put into it just becomes an absolute waste of time, and you'll never be able to rekindle that flame you once had because you gave up. You threw it all away because you felt like it wasn't working. So once you're on rock bottom, it's all about how you decide to rise up from that challenge, how you decide to keep pushing forward and keep moving. Because once you've lost everything, you only have everything to gain. You cannot lose anything else, and you can only gain from there. So that's when you just need to start taking risks and go all in on everything that you possibly can. Because if you fail, no harm, no foul, because you've got nothing left. You need everything that you can possibly take.
I think people read truth and authenticity, and I think that's the most important thing for establishing anything. Say authenticity. I think if something's happened to you, and the same thing that Albert's saying, if you have a story, you're probably not the only person with that story, whatever it is. And sometimes the best stuff comes out of the hardest stuff and the worst stuff that you've gone through. So if you've actually experienced something, I don't think anybody should hide any kind of truth. So whatever you have witnessed or experienced or gone through, find a way to express that and find a way to stay. And I think people read truth and authenticity, and I think that's the most important thing for establishing anything. It was kind of like my motto. It wasn't completely my motto, because I think if anyone knows my story, it is I had to just keep swimming. My life has been a lot of challenges and a lot of different curves and roadblocks, and so I think that's a great. I didn't come up with just keep swimming, but it has turned out to be something that a lot of people can hold on to and use in their life. I mean, it really started we were kind of going through a lot of kids that were either, committing suicide or being killed because they were gay. And that was like a really sad, moment, I hope for everybody, but especially particularly me, because I know what it feels like to feel alone and not represented on television and not seen and not looked at as an equal, and I really thought by being visible and by being open and honest, I could reach a lot of people and help change people's opinions and change their minds. And when I see that that's still happening, it breaks my heart, and so I started just saying it right around that time, and it just stuck, because I don't think there's ever a time that we're like, okay, we're good. I don't need to say it anymore. We're all kind. Everybody's fine. So it's just gonna be something that I hope sticks in people's minds, and the show, so that it's something that we are reminded of whenever there's something that you don't quite. Anyway, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and the way I ended up on this path was from a very tragic event. I was maybe 19, and my girlfriend at the time was killed in a car accident. And I passed the accident, and I didn't know it was her, and I kept going. And I found out shortly after that it was her. And I was living in a basement apartment. I had no money. I had no heat, no air. I had a mattress on the floor, and the apartment was infested with fleas. And I was soul searching. I was like, why is she suddenly gone and there are fleas here? I don't understand. There must be a purpose, and wouldn't it be so convenient if we could just pick up the phone and call God and ask these questions? And I started writing, and what poured out of me was an imaginary conversation with God, which was one-sided. And I finished writing it, and I looked at it, and I said to myself, and I hadn't even been doing stand-up ever. There was no club in town. I said, I'm going to do this on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. At the time, he was the king. And I'm going to be the first woman in the history of the show to be called over to sit down You know, people come from very, very far away. They fly here, they make, you know, plans to, this is their vacation or their trip, and they come in here and bring this positive energy and this love and this joy, and I get to feel that every single day. It's the most amazing feeling that that energy is coming at me every day, and I hope I give it back to them, and I hope they get that, and I think if I do that every single day, and I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like it's why I started out as a comedian. I started out to make people happy and make people feel good, and I'm doing it on a larger scale, and I hope I can do this for a long, long, long time. That audience comes to see me, and they travel from, and God bless them, they travel from all over the world to come to a taping, and they wait for a year for tickets. They're my core group of people that get me, know me, and love me, and I feel that.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.